and we can try to tear this one apart if you want. Takes a lot. You got it.
Today, I'm going to introduce you to Mike, who is revolutionizing the way we store our records. More on that coming up next.
Channel 33 RPM, yeah, 33 RPM. Channel 33 RPM, yeah, Vinyl Gear and more.
Hi, my name is Frank. Welcome back to Sundays on Channel 33 RPM, your channel for vinyl, gear, and more. As promised up front, we have a special guest. We rarely have, not rarely, I shouldn't say that. Sherry will be mad at me if I say we rarely have guests, but we rarely have guests that are not Sherry on this channel. I'd like to introduce you to Mike. Mike, welcome to the Music Room. Welcome to Channel 33 RPM.
Thank you.
Mike is the owner of the company called Vinyl Storage Solutions. I've talked about Mike's products before. I've done an unboxing and showed those, and I've told you before that, in my opinion, Vinyl Storage Solution, Mike's company, makes the best outer sleeves on the market today. We're going to talk about those sleeves, and Mike is going to show us some other products he has, so check it out. So Mike, thanks again for coming by. You brought some cool stuff here to show the Channel 33 RPM viewers, but tell us a bit about Vinyl Storage Solutions. What's your company all about?
Well, it's a one-man operation, and he works like a dog. Actually, that's me. I have an engineering background, and I've always been in manufacturing for about the last 20 years. And I've loved vinyl records since I was a kid. But unfortunately, the problem with vinyl, it wasn't very portable. And when I was a teenager, around 18, I joined the Army and left all my albums behind. Went off in the world, cassettes, CDs, and so on. After I was done in the military, I got all my albums back, which were some in good shape, some in pretty rough shape. And I continued to buy vinyl, pieces here and there, and it was kind of interesting because I didn't even have a record player, but I still loved vinyl, and I wanted to get that. And I remember I was with my girlfriend who became my wife. We were at a store in Winnipeg, and I saw Nirvana. And I said,
the band or a record?
The record.
Yeah.
I can never remember the name, with the baby floating.
Never mind.
And I said, God, I got to get that on vinyl. And she laughed. She said, you don't even have a record player. And I looked at her and said, I will someday.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I kept buying them, and the new ones are obviously sealed, so it wasn't a big deal. But about 2 years ago, I was transitioning from one job to another, so I had some spare time, and I got myself another record player, and then of course another one after that, and I started spinning my vinyl again and really going hard at it. But one of the problems I had was the condition of the artwork. I think the musician puts a lot of time and effort into the artwork, probably as much as they put into music sometimes, if not a little less. But to me, it's part and parcel, and I really want to take care of it. So I started using 2 of the inexpensive polyethylene sleeves to store the record separate from the sleeve. And I sat down one day and I went, I don't like the quality, I don't like the clarity, and I don't like the fit. I can build a better mousetrap. Yeah. And so I started out to do that.
And I gotta say your sleeves are fantastic. And one of the key things about your sleeves, I got some cool stuff coming up that we're going to show, so stick around for these sleeves if you're not familiar with what Mike is doing. So I said he's revolutionizing the way we store our records using sleeves. These are not what you typically see and what most of you are using, so hang on for that. But the other thing about this is your materials. What I understand, some sleeves are sourced from overseas materials. China, for example. A key component of your materials is that they're all sourced within North America, right from within Canada. Sorry, my phone's making noise there. Tell us about that. What's the significance? Why is that important?
So remember I mentioned the manufacturing background. So I've had some experience with offshore materials, and I know the quantity of recycled resin that's used in manufacturing polyethylene sleeves. Some use a high level of virgin content, maybe 80% and 20% recycled, and some do it the opposite way around. there is particles in that product that could actually damage and leach acid, for example, those types of things. So damage the artwork or the record. So when I set about to do it, I looked specifically for U.S. or Canadian manufacturer of film that only used virgin, here's the big one, food grade material.
Food grade? Why food grade?
Because it's the highest quality of plastic you can get.
Okay.
In this case, cast polypropylene. So polyethylene isn't used for certain foods, but you know the microwavable bags?
Yep.
That's polypropylene.
Okay.
Because it's a higher quality of material, has lower transmission rate for water, that's why you can microwave it, and so on. So I used the highest level of polypropylene you could buy, but it had to be made in Canada or in the US, and then the manufacturer had to be either in Canada or US, because I like supporting our local economies.
So, I mean, you touched upon polypropylene versus polyethylene. So the standard kind of sleeves most of us would buy at a record store, 100 for $20.
Yeah.
What are those made of? And do you take any issue with those products?
No, well, they all have their benefits, but when you look at the grading, polyethylene is basically, well, it's your basic sleeve. It has a decent transmission rate, meaning it won't absorb too much water. But its clarity or haze is very low, and that's because it's a blow-in process. Whereas polypropylene, when you go further up the chain, is just a step below mylar. It's a cast material, meaning it's not melted and blown, but it's pressed. So it has a higher tolerance, and it keeps the clarity. Similar to BOPP, which is typically used for candy bags. You'll see those in the thinner record sleeves. Sometimes the seams fail on them because they're thinner. They don't have any level of elasticity, whereas polypropylene has that elasticity, so you can actually stretch it. Probably seen in one video where I grabbed the sleeve and I pulled it and stretched it, beyond what was reasonable. You can't do that with certain types of material like BOPP.
So it's clearer, so it makes the record looks better. It's virgin materials, it's not recycled.
That's right.
And ultimately, does that kind of play into protecting your records better? Yeah.
So because it's virgin, there's no suspect chemicals, there's no additives. When you look at some of the polymers like polyethylene, they'll use softeners. So it makes the product flow better when they blow it. And blowing is basically a big pot that's heated, they dump hard pellets into, and they blow garbage bags. That's the way a garbage bag's made.
Okay.
It's a blow-in product. It's also a polyethylene, by the way.
Okay.
And with casting, it's a whole different. They have a quenching, so it's dimensionally stable. It hangs onto its clarity. It doesn't yellow over time like polyethylene will. Or PVC.
So your records are going to look better, and they're going to be the additional protection. They're going to be protected better. There's no suspect chemicals. We know what this is. It's not recycled products being shipped overseas somewhere.
Sure.
Okay, so we got that.
It moves you into the archival level.
Well, let's look at some of these sleeves.
Sure.
Channel 33 RPM.
Which one should we look at first?
Well, we need to start right from the top there.
Okay. Well, are all of these currently available for sale?
Okay, so everything you're going to see, some has sold out, unfortunately.
Okay, but you're getting anything sold out is...
I'm reordered.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's 6 to 8 weeks for some of these products.
Okay. Before we go any further, your website is?
VinylStorageSolutions.ca.
And where do you ship to?
All over Europe, Australia, North America.
Okay, cool. This is the sleeve I initially fell in love with. Can you tell us about this one?
Sure. So this is the standard dual pocket where you store the record behind, and it has a resealable strip on the bottom. This is nice if you effectively never want to take the album artwork out, and some of these you don't want to. Also with this sleeve, because it's resealable, you can make a gatefold. 2 mils are very popular for that. 4 mil works also for a nice gatefold.
Right, so this is the 4. My favorite's the 4. Costs a little bit more, but it's got that little bit of a crisper look to it, which I think makes the album artwork pop that much more.
Yeah, you can see the clarity on it's high.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful sleeve.
Yeah. I can take this record home?
No. Okay, we got that one. Which one next?
Let's do the 7-inch. So This is the same. It's the dual pocket 7-inch, and in this case, we did a gatefold with it. With a really nice Alice Cooper 45 that apparently I can take home also. As you can see,
I have to watch what you're walking out of here with.
I brought a big box, and it's gorgeous. I mean, that's nice. So these ones sold out.
Okay.
The resealable 45 or 7-inch, and they'll be coming back shortly.
In fact, by the time this video airs, there's a chance it could be back.
There's a chance.
Okay, cool. Which one next?
Your next one. So, in this case, for all my friends that don't like resealable tape, I'm kind of one of them. This is the dual flap, dual pocket 7-inch. So you can take out the record, play it, and then tuck the flap back in. It's pre-creased, but you can also take out, whoop, I probably should do it this way, take out the artwork if you want to, and just reseal it also. This is very popular, and I can see why, because the flap, it gets annoying after a while, the tape, but it holds nicely.
So this one, when you take the record out,
You pull the flap up.
pull the flap out and it comes
Yeah.
out.
Some people, what they do is they take this one, and for where the record is, they actually cut off the flap.
Oh, okay.
And that's an option for you too. Just follow the nice crease line, cut it off.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the benefit of keeping the tab intact, preventing dust from getting in there.
Exactly. The sad part is the sleeve is a dust crater on these, right? The paper itself.
Right.
But if it was a polyethylene sleeve, then you wouldn't have any dust in there. It keeps moisture out because cast polypropylene has very low transmission rate, and it keeps the dust out.
So is that, I mean, we often think about getting outer sleeves for our 12-inch records. Sorry, I hear the dog walking around upstairs. Is it the 7-inch sleeves? Maybe that's something people don't think about as often, or is it?
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I've got a lot of commentary back from customers, and I have one fellow who claims he has probably one of the most expensive 45 collections he's ever seen, and he bought so many of these. It was quite amazing, and he swears by it because he wants to play it,
Yep.
but he doesn't want to touch it.
Yep.
And he says it's perfect for him. I think you get some of these. This Judas Priest, this has got to be worth $10,
Probably.
if not more. So, I mean, that's the price of some of the lower priced LPs.
Yep. So one more question about those. So these are picture sleeves. These are picture sleeves of the 7-inch. Would there be any benefit? I mean, a lot of 7-inches come in plain sleeves. So there'd be any benefit in sleeving a 7-inch with a plain sleeve?
Yeah, well, so another fellow, what he does is he puts two 45s in. He may have, for example, two Judas Priest 45s. He puts one on one side, one on the other side, just to protect it and keep it secure.
Right. I guess it'll keep the dust out too.
Yeah. Let's go to the 10-inch.
Okay.
So the 10-inch, in this case, is also a dual flap. And I really wanted to do something for 10-inch because I have about 20 or so of them. Record store days.
Yeah, they have a lot on record
A
store.
lot of
Yeah.
10-inch, and you can't walk by some of these, right?
Yeah.
But I have some really nice ones. Like I have that one Jeff Healy. It's hard to find, and Heal My Soul, a companion. It's. I really wanted to do something because there was not a very good sleeve, and the dual pocket was perfect for it, and the dual flap. So this one is really nice too. That's Alice Cooper. It's a record store day one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I can't remember.
Not sure.
It could have been.
But the 10-inch is nice. So what I should mention is on the website, when you do buy a regular pack, say of LP sleeves, you can buy singles of the 10s and the 7s now and add it to your order. So, and that helps some people because they only have like 3, 4, or 5 of them.
Right. I mean, I might buy a couple hundred of the 12-inch because they have a lot of them, but I have a relatively smaller collection of 10-inch, so we need a limited amount.
That's right.
So another website too, I'll show a screenshot of it here. Are the prices in Canadian dollars or are they in the currency from the country you log in?
Yeah, so when you go to the website, right now I'm kind of the basic Shopify website. At the top you can pick the currency.
Okay. So, and we haven't talked about prices yet, but you know, go to the website, check that out. I'll share some screenshots here. You know, if there's anything you want to mention in that
Sure.
regard, go ahead. But
I think the only thing I would mention on the pricing is as I gain volume, and which is happening at a crazy pace, I start introducing volume pricing for
Yep.
people. So you can take advantage if you, instead of buying 2 packs, if you buy 3, then you'll see it comes down 5 points and that kind of thing. And that's the total order, not just the next pack.
cool.
Yeah. So this is the 10-inch resealable, same as the 12. That's a really nice album too.
Yes,
That's a record store.
That's a record store
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that Alice Cooper one was. That was
No.
just a regular release, but this was a record store.
Yeah. I really love the artwork. It really pops out with it.
Yeah, those sleeves. You know, this is not an infomercial, and Mike is not
I'm not
paying
paying him,
to
no.
be on here. As I said, I'm just a fan of his sleeves. We live relatively close. You're like 20 miles away, or I don't know, not far. So I thought it'd be really cool to have Mike on here. So anyway, let's go through some
So
of this other
that
stuff.
takes us to the new 12s. So this is sold out on the website. This is for the traditionalist that likes a single pocket, and this is a wonderful Schools Out original.
With
Frank,
the
it
panties.
is your panty.
No.
So resealable strip.
Yep.
They sold out really fast. And my apologies to everybody on the stuff that's sold out. When I launch something, I don't go into high volumes because of the cost.
So you kind of just feel it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
this is nice for the record. I never want to touch again. I don't imagine you've played this in forever. Why would you, Ray?
I've never played Alton's
played.
particular copy. It's one of those, you know, I have a couple copies of Schools Out, and this one is just the jacket's not in the best condition.
Too bad they didn't have my sleeve to take care of all of this.
Exactly. But it's a collectible one, so that's why that sealed sleeve is good for it. 'Cause I'm not going to open it again, or for a while, and
Yeah.
it helps protect the package.
Yeah, this is the big one.
The big one. What do you mean?
Well, I introduced the single pocket sleeve for the traditional person that just wants the regular single pocket. But what I tried to do is make it, and then I call it the near perfect fit. As you can see, it doesn't overhang significantly.
Yep.
And you can use it either way in orientation. But it's made from the same material, 4mm cast polypropylene. And it's priced competitively with the standard polyethylene. For the marginal price difference, it will last forever. And we can try to tear this one apart if you want.
I was concerned about the Kiss record. So
No, you keep the record.
This is not a reissue. This is an original Kiss Unplugged.
So this was just grabbed out of the bag, no selection.
Yep.
Right. You want to pull?
No, you're the former Army guy, so if the Army guy can't do this,
Okay.
wow.
There's your sleeve.
So it stretches
Yeah. Well,
a
that's-
little bit,
Yeah, well,
but it
that's-
doesn't break.
No, and that's the great thing about cast polypropylene. I can make it just a little bit smaller for gatefolds,
Yeah.
so it's a bit of a snug fit, but it'll stretch and form to fit
Yeah.
over time. Unless the album is so massive, and there's the odd one that won't fit.
Let me try. I don't.
Go ahead, give it.
I think I want to make sure you're setting this up in any way. To,
Go ahead, give it.
I'm going to grab it on the seam. Is that cheating?
No, it's more pressure
No?
at the point. Go ahead. You got her. Let's see it tore.
It tore, and that took some effort. But I cheated. Like this is right. You're not going to have a record, and you're not going to
No.
grab it right on the seam
No.
and give it a pull.
No.
Because
No,
if you do it here, it's
Yeah. Takes a lot. You got her.
takes a lot of work.
I'm
So
not wrestling. I'm wrestling with you, by the way.
no, hold on. I want to compare it. So this is the sleeve that Kiss record was in. Tell me about this. This is not your sleeve. This
No.
is what is this?
So this is it sounds like it's a BOPT because it's crinkly.
Right, it's a cheaper sleeve.
Yeah.
Is this one? How is that? Let's test the quality of that one. Oh, day and night. Not that I intended this to be like
it
a
worked
competition of breaking things, but that was
See, I'm as strong as you.
yeah.
I know, smell's not everything.
Okay, so that is cool. Before we go to the next one, can you comment on, because the record that was in there was a double record, but it wasn't a gatefold.
Yeah.
So can you put gatefolds in these? Can you like put multiple records?
Yeah, well, I mean, the on the website you see pictures. I have a Deep Purple's triple album. I can't remember what it's called. It's a recent release a couple years ago. And when you slide it on, it's a little tight, but it's a double gatefold.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it's going to be a little tight, and you work it on, and then after a while, the plastic relaxes around it, and you have a nice fit. And I put the 3 albums in.
No problem?
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. Because the first time I showed these sleeves in that video, like way back half a year ago, some of the questions were, it looks good, but can you fit a gatefold? Can you fit a double? And you're saying, yes, you can. Yeah. Okay. One more?
Well, there's a nice gatefold.
Oh, speaking of.
Yeah, so you can't keep this. This is mine.
Yes.
Tesla. Awesome album. Reissued. So this is a gatefold that's in the dual pocket, dual flap. But what's inside of it is my prototype inner sleeve that I'll be launching shortly.
So you're saying, these people watching here are getting a sneak peek at something.
Yeah, this is the first time, other than a little blog I put up. With this design, I don't know if you can see it, I'll put one record down. What I did is I built in an integrated flap. So when you take the record out, all you're going to do is pull back on the flap, slide your record out, put it away, slide it in, lift up on your flap, and then slide your record back into its pocket.
So why? What's the benefit?
Dust. I hate dust. I hate cleaning. Really, that's what I hate. I hate cleaning.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I end up cleaning a record is because of dust. What's the primary source for dust within a record? The sleeve, inner or outer. Right? And then obviously the atmosphere. But you know, the MyFo was a beautiful sleeve. It's a little bit expensive. So what I wanted to do is create an inner sleeve that would be either 3 or 4 mil thick.
Yeah.
Because there is times where I have accidentally done that, hit one record against the other, and you see the light surface scratches, that kind of thing. But I also wanted to have the flap that you never had to tuck or manipulate. And so that's why I went with the integrated flap. So I had to help design some tooling, because you have to picture the way this is being made. You're slicing one side but not the other. That's a pretty tricky little thing to do. And I wanted to add in a large level of anti-static, because I didn't want the sleeve to cling or dust to hold to the sleeve.
So I'm going to pause you there. You want to add in a large element of anti-static. How do you? What does that mean? How do you do that?
It's an additive.
Oh, really?
Sorry, I should have said that. Yeah. So
I had no idea. And so when someone says there's an anti-static sleeve, there's actually an additive in the plastic.
That's right. Right. Because remember, it's HDPE, so high density polyethylene. Remember, it's blowing, right? So in this case, when they blow it in the resin, we'll add a slight amount of anti-static additive, and it gets mixed together in the mixing, and then blows out in a tube.
Yeah.
Right. And I shouldn't give too much, but the tube goes through a processing system that will then seal, but also slice.
It's a complicated build.
It's a very complicated build, and that's where you get the pricing in the product, right? I mean, a lot of it, I don't think I was the first person to think of some of this stuff, but trying to make it happen is the harder part. So this will be coming out in about mid to end September, and I think they're going to be very nice, and I'll be getting rid of all my paper sleeves. Primarily the paper with the light polyethylene inner.
That's interesting you say that, because most of us think that the paper sleeves are the classic white with the cutout. You know, we get rid of those because it's got the fibers and the strands, and they can be a pain. But why the polyline? A lot of the premium records come with the paper sleeves of the polylining. They
tear easily, for one, so you'll have the record protruding through. That's another reason I did the integrated flap, because I didn't want the part of the record sticking out. So if you look,
you're talking about when you drop it in there too much and you get the...
Yeah, even the MyFo, right? You'll get that much of the record sticking out. Well, that's a rub area, potentially, and I didn't want that. You know, like when you're pulling it out and that kind of thing. But that paper sleeve with the polyethylene generates a lot of dust. Microscopic, you can't see it,
Yeah.
but it's going to be attracted to your record.
Right, and they get stuck in the groove. They get stuck in the groove, and that impacts the quality of the sound. Yeah.
And the reason it'll be 3 or 4 mil is so you can easily, and this is only 1.5 mil, these prototypes, is so you can easily slide it back into your outer sleeve and not have it fold over on you.
See, and that was my question. Like, would this get somehow stuck or have issues when you slide it in there? But we just saw there that it was no problem.
No, it's very nice. And the cast polypropylene is pretty soft, so it won't do anything. It won't drag or have any cohesive issues.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have pricing on those yet, or well, stay tuned and check out the website for that.
Yeah, that'll be it'll be aggressively priced.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
These are all great. I don't endorse many products, but this has a Channel 33 RPM seal of approval, and I know I've seen more of these popping up in the vinyl community as time goes on. So others are digging these as well.
Yeah. Is it alright with you if I thank everybody for being so, like one-man team? Show, and thank you very much. The support's been outrageous, and the emails I get are very supportive, and please keep the ideas coming. Some of these are generated off your feedback.
Awesome. Do you, and don't answer this if you don't want to, but do you see, these are unique products, you don't see this in them much, you see some similar stuff in the marketplace, but nothing like this. Do you look around and say, this is my competition, or do you just doing the best you can do and just kind of going with that without that side vision? You kind of...
I do a lot of research.
Yeah.
I've probably bought every vinyl sleeve, and then it's kind of funny, you look on some websites, the big one, for example, you'll see the same sleeve renamed. The offshore sleeve has been repackaged, renamed. So I've bought every one, and when a new one comes out, I buy one because I want to test it. I look at it look through a high intensity microscope. I want to see what kind of abrasion. I sometimes send stuff out for a PAT test, and that's a photographic analytic test. CPP is used for archival storage for photographs in libraries, national libraries. The same thing with Mylar. The other ones aren't, because they if you look at the tension surface, they're not smooth. They have a lot of abrasive qualities to it. So I do test them, I do research them, I do look at them. But at the end of the day, my designs are really my own.
Right.
Yeah.
Patent pending?
Yes, so the dual pocket is patent pending, and the rest of it, obviously, there's some standard stuff that I compete against.
Excellent. Well, Mike, I appreciate coming down and showing us this selection of really cool stuff. Is anything I haven't asked that you want to add? No,
but I do want to thank you. You've been very supportive and helpful, and I really do appreciate it, Frank. And I think the whole vinyl community's really well off with your support, so thank you.
You're welcome. I appreciate that, and as I said, it's not a paid endorsement. It's just when I see a product I like to do my best to spread the good word. Particularly, you're independent small business. You're not one of the, not that it matters, but it's that extra credibility and that extra, I mean, when you see the little guy putting out the good stuff, it makes it all that much more special.
Yeah, and sometimes I do things like I pack every order.
Yeah.
So I throw in an extra sleeve of a different type for the customers.
I've seen the videos of people like, I got a sample pack, and then you see different things in there as well. Yeah. So
well, and there's a monthly draw. I started. I didn't really promote it, but there's a blog page, and all the orders from the month go in a hat, and some lucky person gets 50 sleeves of something for free shipped to their house.
Perfect.
There's been a few, one every month. So.
Perfect. Well, Mike, thank you for the kind words. Thank you for coming here to the Channel 33 RPM World Headquarters, a.k.a. the basement. And I will leave links below this video to check out these sleeves. All right, guys, that is a wrap. That's the interview with Mike. Let us know what you thought of this in the comments below. Do you use these sleeves? What sleeves do you use? Also, please check out Mike's website, check out his social links, all that good stuff. Dear 33ers, hope you enjoyed today's extra long special episode. Until next time, keep on spinning.
Thanks a lot. You got it.